Well, in a lot of ways, the silver movement is more of a counterculture movement than it is an investment with many people. And it's almost like there's I don't even know if you want to call them hardcore investors or more like protesters against Wall Street, or attempting to protest against Wall Street by hoarding silver as much as possible. That's really what it is. It's almost like a counterculture movement, but it's almost like the same damn thing's all going on all over again. I can't believe we're still protesting this stuff forever. It's the same old game, man. It's us against the establishment. Yeah, that's really what it is. It's an attempt, anyway. It's an attempt. Now, actually, if you went old school all the way, like I talked about, modified Amish. Instead of going back to the 1800s, you go back to the 1940s and 50s, where you got the cool ass rides and the choppers and stuff like that, and people could do what the hell they want. They can hitchhike down the road, and not have any problems, that type of stuff. When America was free, it might not have been as glossy, but it was free. That would have been the deal. But in other words, we don't use any greenbacks, and we just use silver between each other. And not to be Amish, but to be hedonistic, modified Amish in that way. But yeah, that would work. But that's a lot of work. So a lot of people just want to get rich, right? They want to get wealthy off of silver, and they might if they catch it just right. It's been a long waiting game, but that's really the game of that's really the game, man. That's really the game, and it's also like, who the hell knows when the top's going to be. But I'm going to actually present some different things here because, Goldman Sachs, well, I wish I had that resource. I wish I freaking saw that. I knew they were the top holders of double leveraged oil. Double leveraged oil on the way up. I talked about this before. But it was also them and a whole bunch of other bankers, investment houses, and stuff like that. And it's like, they're predicting $20 a barrel oil before. Now they're telling it like the market's going to unwind and it's going to go down to 45. Yeah, I don't think so, man. Because, actually there's a couple things out there like little factoids. I don't know exactly when it was again. It was a chart I looked at a while ago. It could have been a few years ago or maybe a couple years ago. But China has already passed up the USA in oil consumption. And, crazy ride here, man. You know what I mean? The Chinese Dragon Flame freaking motorcycle here. So actually, so China, even though China's got problems and, India's got problems economically, there's a big freaking middle class coming on board throughout the world, and there's a lot more demand for oil. So, the other thing is OPEC's having a problem keeping up with demand. And here's another thing. We've been talking about, even on this channel, I know I talked about ADAPT 2030. They talk about it a lot, about the global coming mini ice age. Now, yeah, it's summertime up here in North America, in the UK and England, and all that kind of stuff, right? Now, in Canada, right, and Mexico, and whatever I'm talking to, most of the Northern Hemisphere. But it's wintertime down under, and they're already having a lot of freaking crazy cold weather, and that's putting a lot of demand on oil. But I don't think that's the main reason why oil is going to go up. And the reason I'm harping on the oil, as I've been saying this all along, is really when the Middle East has a major conflict, you're going to need dragon power like this freak on this bike here, to get going. You're going to see oil freaking fly. And then you're going to see gold fly. And then when those two fly up, that's when your silver is going to go up. And it's going to drop fast when the war settles down or whatever. It's really unpredictable. That's really what the hell the problem is. It really is. It really is. But where there's an axiom where it's... Like, in other words, if you could predict a major conflict, there's always conflicts in the Middle East. There's always problems. But if you could predict a major conflict, you'd always win on oil, silver, and gold. You would. You always would. And I'm looking at Obama's policy. I've been saying this. I think I really understand now why the elite got him in there, because and I know like they put the sanctions back on Iran, but they didn't really do it all the way. And I'm like, also Iran's got more, weapons now they're getting from freaking, what do you call it, Russia and all this type of stuff. So it's like, I think the real thing was to actually set it up where there's a major contest between the Sunnis and the Shiites, and they mutually destroy each other, or there's a nuclear arms race. Because Saudis also went to Pakistan, I saw that recently, where they're going to Pakistan to try to get nuclear weapons, which I don't even know if they already have them, but that was something I read in the major media. So, the things could really heat up here, and we could have really high fuel prices. So, you might be riding motorcycles, you might be riding them in the winter, you might be riding them with snow tires and trikes, and I don't know what the hell you'd be doing. It'd be one of those Russian things, those Ural jobbers with the reverse gear and a two-wheel drive in the back. Man, that thing would have been badass in winter with a windshield and a heater. But, the thing is, it's like the situation, you can see it's coming down the road now, for real. I know that people have been crying wolf about, the sky is falling. And I know they've been talking about this forever, but, I wasn't really like, the sky is falling, but exactly. And I didn't expect these markets to keep going up as long as they did. But, I never expected the real estate market to go up as high and as fast as it did, too. I remember that stuff back in 2005. It was doing really good. Then in 2006, the houses were going up like $30,000 in like 2 months. Just throwing a price on there. It was like, wow, man, just throw $30,000 on. Yeah, they'll get the money back in their investment because it's a good long-term investment. Sign them up on a loan, I remember that shit. And you know what happened? In a month, in January 2000, the whole thing went blah. And then we had the next crisis with, the commodities went up after that. Actually, they went up after that. Then they came down. Then the equities came down and hit their bottom in early 2009. Then we had the QE, and we had, the freaking, the silver stuff go up again. So everything's going to take turns. Right now it's been the general equity's been doing it. They've been trying to kickstart the economy like old skinny chicks trying to freaking do it with the big boots, But, it's not really working. We're still kind of like, we can't really shake the recession. What's going on. I'm not playing doom and gloom, but you know what? The retail sector is telling you for real that there's still like a recession going on for real. There was not, but it's not like a depression. It's not that bad. There's no like real bad inflation or nothing. There's like a little bit of inflation and stuff, Nobody's like really bad off, you know what I mean? It's not like the 30s, but I think we're probably coming up to something worse than the 30s, And we got to be prepared. It's almost like we just can't be in dreamland and say, the hell with it. I know silver can protect you, but it's not the only thing. That's why I have a lot of different how-to videos on things. It was kind of like, it was kind of cool. I just did a couple videos on fixing a $400 or $500 part on some HVAC controls on my 99 Sebring. That would have cost $400 or $500 from the dealer, and it basically cost me nada. If you freaking got a freaking real problem, you just keep freaking working on something. And, I always like working on problems like that, more or less, up to a point. You can figure out better ways. But, the truthers are, pretty much correct. The truthers are pretty much correct. But, they over-exaggerate things. But what aggravates me the most about truthers, though, is this. Man, they're pro-Russian to the max. Like, there's freaking no freedoms over there, man. The Russian people are cool. But the government sucks. Hey, here's something else, too. The Russian political machine and Putin and all that kind of shit. They said that they'd have no problem working with Hillary Clinton if she becomes elected the next president. I'm sure they'd have no problem working with her because she's a freaking Marxist communist, man. She's not a hippie, man. She's a freaking traitor. Yeah, they'd have no problem freaking working with her, man. Big time. What a load of it, man. I just can't believe people are freaking still snowed by that lady. I don't know if she's going to make it, though, but, it's too early in the game to freaking tell because, I always realize, really the reason somebody gets put in is because they can deliver for the elite. It sucks, man, really. So, anyway, I don't even know the New York Times is coming out with stuff on her, but, who the hell knows. But, time to get out the dual hula hoops and just string these bastards up. That's what I'll say. But, Hillary's a freaking, I don't know, man. It's like, they're all screwed up. Actually, Obama, I never really got aggravated at Obama, though. I mean, I didn't, I knew he was just a puppet, but he didn't aggravate me. Hillary aggravates me. I don't like that lady, man. She's evil, man. She's evil. She goes, when Gaddafi died,
I'm the witch of the West.
maybe she'll melt. That'd be great. If there's one time there'd be global warming, it'd be melt that witch. So, that's another thing, no. That's another thing, because that global warming garbage is, I'm not even playing this game anymore, because I don't even want to argue with people about this global warming shit. Do whatever you want. Every winter I'm going to say, yeah, man, it's global warming. You see it get colder and colder. The snow's going to be up to your freaking eyeballs and shit. And you'll be like, yeah, man, it's global warming. There's going to be global warming in Alaska, because that's the place that gets warmer. But the thing is, as it gets colder, there's going to be a lot more demand on oil and energy. And like I said, Saudi's not going to be able to keep up. But the reason I mention oil and energy so much is because it is all related to gold and silver. And when you have a major conflict in the Middle East, oil prices spike many-fold. I can't imagine the oil prices spiking many-fold from where they are. Like say they were 100. Say oil went up to $100 a barrel, and say it should be around $100 a barrel, which it's been for a while. Many-fold from that. Holy shit, we'd be in deep crap. Man, it'd be a freaking you wouldn't be able to drive anywhere, man. But maybe that's what they want. I don't know. I don't know. Like these bastards are freaking, never underestimate the professionals, because it's not like, I can tell you this, people talk about the grand conspiracy and stuff. It really isn't like that, because there's all these lesser people, we'll call them lesser people, different echelons. They just do things to get their money. They're not, in other words, they're professionals. They're freaking, you got the ones on the top that got the major Illuminati policy, and you got other ones below them, and you got politicians sucking up to them to doing their bidding, but they just want to be popular in the limelight. But then a lot of people just want to make money. It's like they will not think about the consequences of what they're doing. Like you'll see, doctors and pharmacists and stuff like that. They don't give a shit. They don't care about your health. It's like, hey, I'm making money. And they don't care about the consequences of what they're doing, and they go along with it. So they argue for the bad guys because it's good for their pocketbook. They always do that. All the professionals do that shit. Oh, they all do that. That's why I don't like them. I hate them. Tell you the truth, man. They're freaking scumbags. All of them. They're all freaking weasels, man. If they were stand-up people, they wouldn't be quote-unquote professionals. But you'll see this all over the place. You see this in Wall Street. Talk cute. They try to get your money. Freaking do your investment. Yeah. This is good for you and all this kind of shit. Now, like I said, silver is more almost like a political movement where it's almost like us against them. That's what it's at least it's attempted to be in spirit. It's not working out that way. Not yet. But it's attempted to be. But, if you're thinking like that, us against them, and you don't want demand, and you don't want the heavy-handed policies coming down on you, you got to be thinking not just silver, but all across the board, everything. Because it's all about freedom, baby. You know what I mean? You're not drinking your freaking rum and coke while you're freaking dancing in the grass here, right? So, anyway, but, that's the thing. Actually, the silver movement actually has the hippie spirit in it. It's a revival of the 60s hippie spirit. There's no doubt about it. And Goldman Sachs and, those freaking, God, stuffed shirts and skirts, whatever. They're both now the shirts and skirts, they're stuffed. They all talk like, the freaking, the derivative market is doing very well, and you can keep your money in there forever. Yeah, we can expect returns for a long period of time. Yeah, sure, lady. It's like, come on, man. There's always so many they talks. What they do is they get all the old people's money and they fuck them over later on. That's what they do. And we got to make sure we do your tax return, and we got to freaking set up your beneficiaries and have all the legal fees and set in place. And there's my fee too, of course. Anyway, so that's what they do. But if you got silver as your money, right? You freaking throw out the middleman. There's something else I want to tell you about the markets in general that doesn't make sense overall, and a lot of people don't think about this too much. But I talked about this before, but I guess maybe I didn't talk about it too much. Like a broker, for instance. You know how much a broker makes? Like, say they got $20 million of clients' money under their belt. They don't really do nothing, They just sit there and they fucking give the client a statement if they call up once in a while.
Yeah, how you doing, Fred? Yeah, your money is safe. Yeah, we're doing good. Yeah, do you want to move anything around?
If you move anything around, it costs you money, right? And, so they got 20 million. So they pass a test. They got a Series 7 or Series 6 or whatever the hell it is. And, they talk to the client once in a while. So $20 million, it might be 20 clients. It might be 10 clients. It might be 100 clients. But usually it's not 100 clients. Usually they look for the big bucks clients, They're ambulance chasers, almost like lawyers, right? Brokers, right? So what happens is they don't do nothing, right? So they get money. Now, how are they being paid from all these bullshit funds? In other words, you're looking at these numbers, you're saying, I'm investing in agriculture. I'm investing in, especially the ETFs. They've been saying those things, I don't even know what, they're not even actually, they're freaking a joke, man. The ETFs, there's nothing in them. It is a bunch of paper. It's not even just like the bond market of the governments and stuff like that. Some of these now some of the stocks in the solid companies, that's different. If you have a piece of paper and a stock in a solid company, yeah, that might be different. You might have a piece of paper that represents real estate, ownership of real estate or whatever. But I'm talking about even a lot of these other investments. These brokers are making so much money by just doing what? Sitting on their ass. They passed the test and freaking got some clients. And they talk sweet to them and they get their account and they go, oh yeah, whatever, Yeah, I used to be, an astronaut, so that's why I'm a broker now. So since I was famous, you should go to me, right? That type of stuff. And they don't know what the hell they're doing. They don't know what's in those funds. They don't know. And all they know is they're getting a fee off of freaking quote-unquote managing clients' money. But it makes you wonder, how the hell could all these guys be getting all these fat fees off that bullshit? What's actually in those funds, those ETFs? Say, for instance, somebody invests in a silver ETF. How the hell are they paying the brokers and all storage fees and everything like that? And the price is moving up and down. They got agriculture. They got oil. They got it's all, you know what it is? They're all derivatives. That's really what these freaking ETFs are. 90% of them are. And I think they double count the shit out of everything. They've been talking about this a long time with the silver market, right? The physical versus the paper. Well, there isn't actually a logic to all that stuff, because sometimes paper is, exactly what it is on paper, that it represents the real thing, and that's what it really is. It's just that you're not carrying the real thing with you. But a lot of investments out there, they're just paper, more or less. They're bets. And these, like I said, I don't understand actually how these freaking brokers can be getting so much damn money. And plus paying for the offices, the rent on the office, the phone, the fax machine, all the equipment, the desks, the liability insurance, the health insurance, and all that kind of shit. And these guys are making like well over $100,000 just for having $20 million worth of clients on the money under their belt. Makes you wonder. And you know what? If the freaking sky fell down and everything went to shit, you know what they'd say? I don't know. There was a catastrophe. What do you want me to do? I don't know what happened to your money. It wasn't my fault. It's almost like the same deal with the run on the banks back in the 30s. Well, it might be, maybe it won't be a run, but it'll be like, well, maybe that's what it'll be, more or less, like a lot of these investments aren't real. They're fluff. Not all of them are that way, but there's a lot of them are. The ETFs are dangerous, all of them. Although I got them, and I'm like, I want to dump this shit, take cash if they ever go up like a lot. If I see the commodity bull run come up again, I'm dumping all that shit, taking cash, man. But I'll be buying, crazy choppers like this, shit like that, something cool. Anyway, yeah, I probably will buy classic cars and choppers with some of that money. There's no doubt about it. And actually thinking about the old school choppers where you're talking a chopper with a rake neck, and it's a hardtail frame, and it's lightweight, and nothing fancy. The kind that I could just take, one set of sockets set and take the whole damn thing apart without getting all the crazy freaking $30,000 worth of paint on it or some shit. I don't give a damn. I mean, as long as it's something that doesn't chip easy, you know what I mean. But I go for another capital asset because I'm not gonna play around in the markets at all, really, because I think we're really coming up to a time where the markets are going to evaporate. They really are, because that's the best way to depopulate the earth. You know what? The Illuminati want to do this, don't they? Actually, there's one guy, I forgot the hell his name was, but one guy, he's talking about, freaking extending life or making people live almost forever. Now, I'm all for that, because I don't think the earth would overpopulate, because we'd be smart enough to go to some other planets. You know what I mean? We could populate Mars or some shit. But, the other thing is, well, the other reason I say that would be cool is because we would be having a net effect of highly intelligent, vibrant people. I don't know what would come out of that mess where, but what I think is they are going to crash the economies, because that's going to actually cause people to die. And that's one of the evil Illuminati goals, get the population down a lot. And, I'm okay with getting their population down a lot. I don't give a shit. The Illuminati, fuck them, right? But, yeah, that's why I don't really trust a lot of stuff that's on paper. But you got to deal with it for now. I mean, I go on eBay and I go on Amazon, I go on Google something, and I get my car parts that way and shit. And I was thinking, some of the electronic methods of freaking buying stuff is great, but I don't trust all the investments. That's what I look at it that way, because I look at it, it's got a good side and a bad side. I mean, I look at it this way, like, yeah, man, if I want to get something for my 78 El Camino, I can just go on there on eBay and say, yeah, I need this bracket for the clutch linkage, and there it is. I mean, back 25 years ago, God, you'd be like, you never find one. You'd be trying to make one, attempting to make one. So, sometimes the technology is good, but in a lot of ways, these bastards are trying to control us with it. And, that's really what the silver movement is about. It's almost like it's a counterculture. That's what the hell it is. It's a counterculture. We're still protesting. The people that got silver, for the most part, not everybody, but for the most part, most people who got physical silver, what they're doing is they're really in tune with the old hippie movement from the 60s, and they're fighting the establishment. At least they're trying to. It's not working out as good as I thought right away, as fast as I thought. But, I expect when they had the next major conflict in the Middle East, silver's going to go between 60 and 75. And, ultimately, I don't know what it can do. I mean, the crazy prices where fiat's not... I'm gonna say this also in the end. For instance, you talk about... people talked about, the fiat's not going to be worth nothing. The fiat money is always going to be the medium of exchange. If the dollar goes to oblivion, you know what that means? There was a World War III and we lost. Okay? That's what that means. And you don't want that to happen, because jackasses be coming in here trying to screw us up, and I'll be trying to shoot them, to tell you the truth, man, because I'm not against our freaking military police. I'm against other jerks coming over here telling me what to do, because it'll be even worse. You know what I mean? So, but, it wouldn't, the dollar's not going to oblivion unless, we got World War III and we lose it. Then it's going to oblivion. But otherwise, that's going to be the currency we use. I think the dollar's going to lose clout in the world, but it's not going to lose all its clout. It's still going to be an important currency. It's going to be kind of like what happened to the British pound. The British pound was king back 100 years ago, and then it's still a freaking strong-ass currency. It's still one of the major currencies. It's not going to go away, all the way. So anyway, so, I think that, when the time comes, though, for the markets to come down, it's almost like You don't believe it. You don't believe it. You don't believe it. Then when it happens, it's a lot worse than you think. That's what happens with the equities. That's what happened with the tech boom thing. That's what happened with the real estate market. That was another thing, man. That even surprised me. I remember that freaking January 2007. Holy shit! Nobody got any sales. Well, what the hell happened? It was like, just all of a sudden, man, just bam. It was like, holy shit. So anyway, but you know, the classic bikes and the classic motorcycles and the classic cars might be depressed at that time. That'll be one of my next capital investment. One of these, one of these dragon chopper things here, man. Whatever the hell this is, with all the fiberglass. That thing must weigh 600 pounds or some shit. I don't know, but that's wild. Chinese dragon, man, airfoil. Plus, it keeps the rain off you, right? Anyway, so we are the counterculture. Stick with your counterculture investment and fight the power. And Goldman Sachs, I mean, you know, one day I think there's going to be a lot of freaking yo-yos in Goldman or get chopped too. When the bottom falls out, the big dog's going to run off with the money, and everybody that works for Goldman's going to be like left up the creek without a paddle. That's exactly what happens. They'll be like, I don't know. Anyway, I know these professionals show. Well, the professionals aren't. There's different stratas. There's like not too bad professionals, and there's the higher up they go, the worse they are. But they could talk cute. Oh man, they could smile like they're Santa Claus. They don't give a shit. Tell you the truth, they don't. Anyway, right, Lloyd Blankfein? Anyway, later.